Okay, cool bananas and right. Okay, that's it. We're alive. Cool. And I'm in the right group. I have become a master of going live in the wrong groups for the wrong topics. It has been, yeah, I suppose it's part of the lockdown madness, I suppose. I don't know. But anyway, one of those weird things that has been happening. Okay, so today what I want to talk about is something that's really, really real, and it's something that comes up all the time, okay? But normally it comes up January, right? Normally it comes up in January, but we're going to talk about it now because we've had a great opportunity over the past number of weeks to reevaluate, right? And if you're in the Wealth Building with Judy or in the Wealth Breakthrough groups, we've done a lot of work about reevaluating and looking and understanding that right now we don't have control over the situation, but we have choice. So we've got moment by moment choice. And it's about how we exercise that choice that determines how we manage through this time. Right? But more than manage, who wants to just manage? Who wants to just survive? Don't we want to thrive? Okay. And there's just a few things you can do in order to thrive through this time. And one of them was reevaluate. Perfect opportunity to reevaluate. Is this where you wanted to be at this stage in your life? Right now, right here, with what you've created so far in life, is this what you've wanted? Okay. Great opportunity to reevaluate. Look at every single area of life, all different 7 areas of life. And are you exactly where you would have loved it to have been? So in this time, it's been a great opportunity to look at that, take a step back and look at that, and look at where you've come from, where you've come, why you've got to where you've got to. Are you happy with it? What's working? What's not working? Right? So once we've done the reevaluation, then we look at, well, okay, so what do we want? And then map out what is it we would truly, truly love and what do we really want? And I'm not just talking financially, I'm not talking about relationships, I'm talking about in every area of life: mental health, social, community, spiritual, vocational, career, financial, all different areas of life. Map it out. The more detail, the better. One of the biggest reasons we don't get to where we would love to do, one of the biggest reasons we do not get to live to the fullest expression of our potential is because we don't have clarity. So if you break it down into each of the 7 areas of life and you get clarity in all of those areas, overall, you've got incredible clarity, right? So take this time, reevaluate. We've done that. Now what? What is it we would love, right? Each of those 7 areas set what I'm going to call objectives rather than goals, right? Goals comes with a whole host of preconceived ideas. Okay, let's call it that. Preconceived ideas. How many times have you bloody set goals and they've just fallen by the wayside? And I'll give you a real good reason why that happens. So what we're going to call them objectives. You're going to, each of the 7 areas, lay out 2 to 3 objectives. The shortish term, like maybe by the end of the year or the end of next year or end of 2023, right? Short term objectives. Okay, and then reverse engineer them. Start reverse engineering them and breaking them down to the smallest bite-sized chunks. 2 benefits in that. 1, the more which you can reverse engineer it and break it down into its smallest finite bite-sized chunks, the more real it actually is. If you can't do that, you cannot break it down into steps and see how you can actually take each of those steps over a period of time, then that objective or goal is a fantasy. Okay, it's like traders. Many of you might know, I'm also co-founder of the Tribe of Traders, probably the only trading organization in the world that has a mindset expert that teaches trading, right? Because we teach it from a different perspective. That's why Tribe of Traders is so successful. So my experience with traders is they get into trading, and this is one of the reasons why so many traders struggle. They get into trading and they have a fantasy that they're going to make 20 million in 5 years or something like that. And currently they're barely making ends meet. They're barely enough to get through the month. All right. Now, if you've got a fantasy in 5 years, you're going to make 20 million. You're going to assume that there's all gain and no pain, all support and no challenge. That's a fantasy, right? You can't relate to it when you're barely making ends meet. You can't relate to that number. That's a fantastical number that no part of your soul, body, and heart can truly relate to. All right. So your lifestyle doesn't demonstrate that. You have history around money. You've got a history around building wealth. So that's a fantasy. So you won't be able to reverse engineer it. So what will happen is your heart and soul will know that's a fantasy and will sabotage it. All right, in order to try and bring you back to balance, try and force you to come up with a realistic number. So we have a process we go through to find out what that realistic number is, right? So, and then when you've got something that's realistic and an objective, a goal that's real, that is completely and utterly real to the core of who you are, it's congruent with your values, congruent with your purpose in life, with what supports you, what makes you more of who you really are, right? Once you've got that goal that's 100% congruent, real, and a goal that you will embrace, support, and challenge in pursuit of, and not just run away the opposite direction the moment it gets hard. Again, that's another issue. A $20 million, 20 million pound goal in 2 or 3 years when you're starting off with nothing, right? You cannot visualize the steps that you need to take in order to get there. Okay, there's a process, and in those steps to get there will be challenge. All right. And because you think there's a 20 million on your heart level will think that's a fantastical number, you won't be able to relate to it. The moment there's challenge, you're going to run away thinking, oh, well, it was a pipe dream. So don't make your objectives pipe dreams, make them real. And the way you make them real is to be able to reverse engineer it to the point where you can actually put down clearly defined steps that allow you that you could, like building blocks that allow you to get there and achieve it. And you see the progression all the time. And this brings me to the second point, the second reason why that is so important and will ensure that you achieve it. And that is when you break it down into its bite-sized chunks, right? And it's like building blocks, right? You're clear about what needs to be done, right? Clarity. You've got 100% clarity, very important. But more than that, it focuses you on taking high priority actions every single day. When you're taking high priority actions towards what you are in pursuit of, it lifts you out of those low vibrational states and distractions. It takes you out of the zone of fear. It takes you out of the zone of apathy, which, like, let's face it, so many people are in right now, fear and rage even. There's a lot of very angry people with what's going on in the world right now. Okay, so it takes you out of that space. It doesn't, you will not be a part of that noise. Okay, you come out of it, you start focusing, you have clarity, focusing on your steps, your agenda, what you need to do to get to your objectives, your goals. All right, so many benefits, and having goals or objectives that are 100% aligned to your values, have absolutely no component of fantasy built into them, are so real that you can actually reverse engineer them, unpack them, and start taking action steps today. I don't care that we're in lockdown around the world. Okay, we're coming through it. We'll get to the end of it. This will pass. Okay, the world is going to be different, but it will pass. Okay, it's not going to be worse. It's not going to be better. How we are with that new world when we come through it is totally up to us. We have moment by moment choice. How we exercise this moment by moment choice right now, from this moment on, is how we're going to come through this. We can use this as the catalyst to catapult our life, to put our life onto a trajectory like nothing else ever has. So if you've reevaluated where you are you 100% happy with all different 7 areas like where you are at? If not, take a step back, look at it. What is important to you? What are your values? What did you dream of as a child? Is there anything in your life that you used to dream about as a child, but you haven't done or haven't ventured into, haven't explored right now? Now's the time to plan it. Now is the time to plan it and start setting goals, or what I prefer to call objectives, in 7 areas of life, right? Making sure they're 100% congruent, 100% you believe in them, so they can be stretched. That's okay. Here's the thing. What I like to say is it's 80% really achievable, 20% stretch, okay? But the stretch needs to be such that you can actually reverse engineer it, that you can actually reverse engineer it to actually start putting down bite-sized chunks of what you can do daily. And what that does for you then in return, not only are you getting closer to your dreams, getting closer to your objectives, getting closer to fulfilling each and every area of your life, becoming empowered in all areas of life. Any area of life you're not empowered, you will be overpowered, right? Not alone that, but what it does is it ensures that you live every single day according to high priority actions. And what that does, it lifts you out of those low vibrational states, lifts you up into a place of inspiration and expansion. You will be appreciative of what you've been able to achieve each and every single day. And and then you become more. And then what that does, as you raise your vibration energetically, you're living by the higher levels of your brain. You're pumping blood, glucose, and oxygen to those higher levels of your brain. You become more inspired, more objective. You have more foresight. You're able to navigate and mitigate risk, and you're able to navigate and mitigate the bite-sized chunks you've broken down in pursuit of your goal. And you'll be able to see, well, that's not really going to take me in the direction that one is. So you'll be able to navigate, because you'll be more objective, you'll have more order. But when you are living by the lower priorities, when you're living in sort of like despair, fear, anger, apathy, regret, shame, guilt, all of those low contracted vibrational states, all you will see is more of the same, and more of that will come into your life. And you cannot see opportunities, you cannot see a way to getting your goal. All right, so many benefits in once you've reevaluated every single area of your life. So Sandy, you've asked what are the 7 areas? Well, you've got vocational, you've got career, finance, mental, community, family, relationships, so spiritual. So look at all the, it depends on that. They're the sort of areas of life that I focus on. You could break them down even finer if you like, but that's the sort of areas that I would focus on. And make sure, the important thing is, if there's any one of those areas you're not empowered, you're going to be overpowered. And I have a philosophy that if you're not empowered financially, you're not empowered in life. And there's a simple reason for that. Because the way, just the nature of the world we live in right now, if you're not empowered financially, it means a lot of your mind, energy, time, and space in your life is occupied in this pursuit of money. Okay, because in order to be able to survive, in order to be able to meet your requirements at the end of every month, in order to be able to provide for your family, that's where your focus is. You haven't got the freedom of space and time to focus on all areas of your life equally. And when you start focusing, coming from an inspired place within and living aligned with your values and congruent with your purpose, where you are inspired in all areas of life, you have way more space and time. Time expands, whereas when you're overpowered financially, time contracts. Okay, but when you are empowered, time and space expands. And in that expanded space, that is where we begin to build wealth in all areas of life, and the actual money is an effect of our cause. And our cause is that state of expansion, living aligned with our values, living congruent with our purpose, living an inspired life, living in a way that we operate from the higher levels of our brain, which is where we have order, where we have objectivity, and where we are balanced, and where we are not polarized. When you are in the lower levels, like the hindbrain, the amygdala, that's where you have fear, that's where you have predator-prey, that's where you're seeking more prey than predator. You will run from challenge, you will only go towards support, and then that creates polarization, that creates subjectivity, that creates emotional reactions. Okay, but where you actually start bringing it together, become more balanced, understand that you cannot have gain without loss, support without challenge. It's all part of the one. You're not trying to separate the inseparable. That's when you're living according to the higher levels of your brain, where there's more order, more objectivity, more you've got more foresight, and that in that space is where you're able to actually take a goal, take an objective, reverse engineer it, and start taking action steps every single day towards that goal. And you will have the foresight to see in advance, well, that's potentially a challenge, or that's potentially not the direction I want to actually go, so maybe I should go this way or that way. So you will actually navigate from a place of inspiration rather than responding emotionally, which only pulls you down further into that lower level space of despair, anxiety, stress, which ages us. Okay, so hopefully that was useful. Make sure you can reverse engineer your objective. Now we had an opportunity to reevaluate our life. Now's the time to set objectives in each area of our life, okay? Even if you just set 2 or 3 in each of the 7 areas of life, even if you just set 2 or 3, right? When you put it together, you've got so much more clarity of what it is you would love in your life. Now, some of those areas, Sandy, important point, some of those areas are going to be more important to you than others. For example, right now in my life, what's most important to me is my work. That's right, number 1. Number 2 is my relationship. Okay. Number 3 is learning. They're my mental, right? Expanding my knowledge. They're the 3 things that are most important to me, right? It wasn't always like that. It was different. Many years ago, it was very different. It was sports, activity, fitness. That was important to me. And relationships, and then was important. And learning. Work wasn't. Okay, it became important to me. So your values will change. So which area of your life is most important to you? Be very, very clear about that. And it's okay that not all of them are most important to you. I mean, like, what's not most important to me? Well, certainly fitness is not most important to me at the moment. Okay, it's not. So I don't put as much effort into fitness, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it. It's okay. I keep fit to a point for health reasons. So that's important to understand. When you're looking at the 7 areas of life, you understand which are the most important. You will naturally put more emphasis on them, and that's okay. Just make sure that you are empowered in all areas of life. You have clarity of what's important to you in all those areas of life. And obviously, you're going to put more energy on the 3. Normally, there's 3, maybe 2, 3, maybe 4, but average of 3. It's natural to put more emphasis on those. Okay, so that's completely normal. So and the more and your life will demonstrate what's highest on your values. Now we have a process I take people through to get really clear on what their values are, and even more than that, why those values are important to you as well, because your life demonstrates why they are very important to you. When you're living in congruent with your values in order of priority, that will tell you as well what your purpose is, what your North Star is, and also your life will tell you why that is also really important to you. And you will be amazed at how everything you've ever experienced in your life has been perfect for giving you everything that you need to fulfill your purpose and to live powerfully congruent with your values. It's actually, the universe is such a beautiful place. And the more you open your mind to that, the more you see the perfection, the more you understand that life, no matter what the universe gives us, no matter what we're seeing, it's all perception. And then when we bring it into balance and we see the perfection of it all, both the support and the challenge, the pain and the gain, the loss and the gain as well, when you bring it all together and see nothing but love, gratitude, appreciation, compassion, and empathy, that's when you see the perfection of the world. That's how you start seeing the perfection of everything in your life as it has been and how it's perfectly served you. Very important. All right, guys, I trust that was useful. Okay, so now that we've reevaluated set goals, or I prefer to call them objectives, make sure there's no element of fantasy. Make sure they're congruent with your heart and soul, with what's important to you. Look at the 7 areas of life. Set 2 or 3 objectives for each of those areas. There's naturally going to have more emphasis on the ones that are highest on your values. And then reverse engineer them and set clear goals, clear steps in pursuit of it. And when you don't have clarity on each and don't execute on them, most importantly, don't execute on them. For example, you might break it down and have something on your list to do in that you've reverse engineer and broken down, and you're not doing it, and it's on your list for like 5, 6, 7 days. It's a fantasy. Okay, if you're frustrating, hesitating, and contracting over it, not executing it, either ditch it, delegate it, but get rid of it because you're not inspired to do it. Live your life by the high priority actions. What's most important to you? Okay. All right. Trust that was useful, guys. Take care. And if you're not in the Wealth Breakthrough, we're going to go deep diving into this topic on Friday at 10 o'clock. So come and join us. All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.